heart of Africa, by the shores of Lake Tanganyika, we discovered the eggs. They lay buried in the ancient mud, perfectly spherical, larger than any bird's egg known to man. Their shells iridescent and glowing faintly even in darkness. Professor Armitage believed them to be fossils from some prehistoric creature, perhaps millions of years old. We brought several back to camp for study. That night, under the full African moon, the first one began to warm in my hands. A faint pulsing came from within, like a heartbeat from another world. By dawn, a crack appeared in the shell. What emerged was not animal, not reptile, not anything of Earth. It was translucent flesh, many-eyed limbs unfolding in impossible geometries. It moved with intelligence, watching us with those cold, luminous orbs. Within hours, it had grown to the size of a child. The natives fled in terror, speaking of ancient gods returning from the deep. We tried to destroy them with fire, but the flames only nourished them, making them stronger, larger. They multiplied in the shadows, feeding on life force itself. One by one, our party fell. Minds shattered, bodies drained. The last thing I saw before fleeing into the jungle was the eggs hatching in endless numbers, rising from the lake like a tide of nightmare. If this message reaches civilization, heed my warning. Do not disturb what sleeps beneath the waters. They are older than man, older than time. They wait patiently for their hour to come again. Destroy any eggs you find, burn them, for they are not dead, only sleeping, and they dream of conquest. I was standing on the edge of the rear platform of a New York subway train, heading uptown, when it happened. An instant before the express door closed, shutting me off from my friend Kirby. A message sprang up before me, written in plain English on the white-tiled wall of the roaring subway tube. First, there were just the words hanging there, meaningless, but in perfect, clear lettering, instructions for. And then they were cut off as the train took a curve, and the wall and its message passed from my vision. I could not get the thing out of my mind. I told Kirby about it that night. He laughed at me. "You've been working too hard," he said. You're seeing things, but I knew I had seen it. The next day I went back to the same station at the same time. The message was there again. Instructions for the operation of the atom accelerator. I stared at it until the train pulled in. Then I boarded it, still thinking. That evening I visited Professor Martin in his laboratory. He was working on a device he called the atom accelerator. A machine to increase the size of atoms by expanding their electron orbits. He showed me the apparatus. A small metal box with dials and a chair inside a glass cage. Sit here, he said, and I will make you grow. I laughed, but he was serious against my better judgment. I sat in the chair. He closed the door, turned the dials. A strange humming filled the cage. My body began to tingle. The room grew smaller. Or rather, I grew larger. The glass cage burst. The laboratory walls receded. I was growing at an incredible rate. Soon I towered above the buildings. The city became a toy beneath me. I stepped over rivers, strode across states. The earth shrank to a ball at my feet. I reached toward the moon and touched it. Stars became pebbles I could grasp. The solar system was a playground. But then I realized the horror. I could not stop growing. The universe itself was becoming too small. I am still growing. The galaxies are grains of sand. There is no end. I am alone in the infinite, forever expanding, forever reaching for something I can never attain again. The normal world I left behind. If this message reaches you, do not follow me. The accelerator is a door to madness. Turn back while you can. I am writing this in the observatory on Mount Hamilton, where I have been assistant to Professor Ascot for the past 5 years. Tonight, something happened that no man has ever witnessed before. The birth of a moon. It began with the arrival of Dr. Alexis Dragomer, a stranger from Europe with wild eyes and a voice like thunder. He claimed to have discovered a method of concentrating the sun's rays to such intensity that they could fuse matter into a glowing sphere.
His plan was nothing less than to create a new satellite for Earth. A second moon to light the night and end darkness forever. Professor Ascot laughed at first, but Dragomir demonstrated his apparatus in the desert. A massive lens array that melted rock into lava with a focused beam from the sun. The power was real. Dragomir's obsession was real. He had chosen a vast nickel-iron asteroid, steering it with calculated explosions toward Earth's orbit. Tonight was the night it would pass close enough for the final act. We watched through the great telescope as the asteroid approached. Dragomir's station in the Andes fired the beam. The asteroid began to glow, first red, then white hot. It was melting, fusing into a molten sphere. The light was blinding. The new moon was being born. But something went wrong. The calculations were off by a fraction. The gravitational pull shifted. The molten mass began to fall toward Earth. Dragomir screamed into the radio. "It is coming too close! It will strike the planet!" The sky lit up like day. The heat reached us even here. The new moon, still glowing, plummeted oceans will boil, cities will vanish in fire. Humanity's end comes from the very light we sought. If this message reaches anyone, know that man's ambition has doomed us all. The Moon Maker has become the world destroyer. Pray for swift oblivion. West of Arkham, the hills rise wild, and there are valleys with deep woods that no axe has ever cut. There are dark, narrow glens where the trees slope fantastically, and where thin brooklets trickle without ever having caught the glint of sunlight. It was in the twilight of a day in early summer that the meteor fell upon the farm of Nahum Gardner. The thing had come from the sky with a hissing roar, striking the earth with a force that shook the hills. When the scientists from the university came, they found a great pitted mass cooling in the soil. A mass that defied all known elements, glowing with colors no man had ever seen. At First, the crops grew unnaturally lush around the impact site. The vegetables were gigantic, but when tasted, they were bitter and poisonous. Then the blight began, the plants turned gray and brittle, crumbling to dust. The animals sickened, cattle went mad, their eyes glowing with that same unholy color. Niam's wife was the first to go insane, screaming of things moving in the well. The color itself, it was not a color at all, but something from outside the spectrum of earthly light. It drained the life from everything it touched. Trees twisted into impossible shapes. The soil became ash. Niam's sons wasted away, their bodies crumbling like the plants. I saw it myself in the end, a vast shimmering glow rising from the blighted farm, ascending slowly into the night sky. It pulsed with that nameless color, leaving the land dead and barren beneath it. The thing had fed enough. It was returning to the stars from whence it came. No one lives in that valley now. The hills hide it from sight. But on certain nights when the stars are right, a faint glow can still be seen rising from the poisoned earth. It waits, it hungers, and it remembers. I am the last man, or what remains of one. My name was once John Holland, but that was centuries ago. In the year 1947, I volunteered for an experiment, the transfer of human consciousness into a machine body, built to last forever. The process worked, my brain was removed and placed in a metal casing. My senses connected to perfect artificial organs. I awoke immortal, indestructible. The scientists promised I would witness the future of mankind. But mankind ended wars, plagues, decay, civilization crumbled while I endured, cities fell to dust. The sun grew colder, humanity vanished, leaving only ruins and silence. I wandered the dead earth for ages. My body never tired, never aged. I watched oceans dry, mountains erode, the stars wheeled overhead in endless cycles. I tried to end it, throwing myself into volcanoes, burying myself in ice. But the machine always repaired itself. Now I drift among the ruins of what was once New York, speaking into this recorder in the hope that some future race might find it. But there will be no future race. The earth is dying, and I am bound to it. I have seen the end of all things. I have outlived the planet itself. My thoughts echo in this metal skull, forever alone. Immortality is not a gift, it is the ultimate curse. If you hear this, know that I envy you your mortality. To sleep, to forget, to cease, that is the mercy denied to me. I am the machine man of Ardethia, the last witness to a dead world. And I will be here until the stars burn out. After my return from the Great War, I took possession of Exham Priory, my ancestral home in England, a place abandoned for centuries due to dark legends. The locals whispered of curses of rats in the walls that drove my forebears to madness and cannibalism. I began restoration, ignoring the tales. But soon I heard them. The rats scrabbling behind the stone, thousands of them in the night. My friend Norris laughed, but the sounds grew louder. More purposeful, they seemed to follow me, to call me downward. We investigated the sub-cellar. Breaking through ancient masonry below lay vast caverns, bones of men and beasts piled in heaps, gnawed and ancient deeper still. Carvings on the walls told the story. My ancestors had kept a cult, breeding hybrid creatures, feasting on forbidden flesh in rites to gods below the earth. The rats were not rats, they were the remnants, the guardians, the swarm that served Nyarlathotep and the older things. As I read the Latin inscriptions, the truth flooded me. I was of their blood. The madness took me. I heard the voices of my forefathers calling from the dark. Now the rats come for me again. They swarm in the walls of this asylum where they have confined me. They whisper my true name, the name from before humanity. I cannot resist much longer. The priory calls. The caverns call. The feast awaits. If you read this, burn Ixom Priory, seal the depths. For the rats are patient, and they remember their own. The purple sapphire came from the mines of Kashmir, cut from a stone unearthed in an ancient temple of Kali. The native workers fled when it was found, whispering of the curse of the goddess, that whoever possessed the gem would suffer madness and violent death until it was returned to her altar. Colonel Sir Richard Lavington brought it back to England after the Indian Mutiny, laughing at superstition. Within a month he was dead, found in his study with his throat torn as if by claws. Though the doors were locked from inside, his widow sold the sapphire to a jeweler, who went mad and hanged himself, leaving a note claiming the stone whispered to him at night. The gem passed through many hands. Each owner met a horrible end. One drowned in a shallow bath, another burned alive in a fire that started in a locked room. A third leaped from a window, screaming of purple shadows pursuing him. The stone always reappeared, untouched by flame or water. Its deep violet glowed brighter after each tragedy. I acquired it from a pawnbroker who begged me to take it away. That night the whispers began, soft, seductive voices promising power, wealth, forbidden knowledge. I saw shapes in the facets, eyes watching, mouth smiling. The room grew cold, shadows moved against the light. I tried to destroy it, hammer, acid, fire, but the sapphire remained perfect. The whispers grew louder, commanding. I felt the madness rising. the urge to kill, to offer blood to the goddess within the stone. Now I write this with trembling hand, knowing my time is short. The purple shadows are closing in. They hunger. The curse is eternal. If you find this journal with the gem, do not touch it. Cast it into the sea. Bury it in consecrated ground. Anything to break the chain, for the purple sapphire lives. It waits, and it claims its due. The thing came from the void between the stars. I first noticed it in the laboratory when the lights flickered and died. The generators were running at full capacity, yet power was draining away as if consumed by something unseen. I, Professor Eldridge, had been working on a new form of electrical detection device. The meters registered an enormous drain, but nothing was connected. Then the instruments began to melt. The air grew cold, unnaturally cold, as if life itself was being sucked from the room. My assistant, young Carter, was the first to feel it. He clutched his chest and collapsed, his body drained of vitality. In seconds, I saw the outline. A shimmer in the air, a distortion like heat rising from pavement, but colder. It was feeding. The creature was invisible, existing in a spectrum beyond human sight. It had come through a rift opened by my experiments, drawn by the electrical energy. It moved through walls, through flesh, consuming all power it touched. Mechanical and biological. I tried to trap it with high voltage fields, but it only grew stronger. The city blacked out as it spread, draining substations, leaving thousands in darkness. Bodies were found shriveled, as if aged a century in moments. In the end, I realized the only way to stop it was to cut off all power, worldwide. But who would believe me? The governments laughed. The creature grew, spreading across continents. Invisible and unstoppable. Now it comes for the last lights. I write this by candle as the final generators fail. The cold is closing in. The shimmer approaches. It hungers for the electrical essence of life itself. If this record survives, know that humanity's mastery of energy awakened something ancient and insatiable from the outer dark. Turn off the lights. Return to primitive ways. Or it will consume us all.
In the heart of Guadalcanal, deep in the jungle where no white man had gone before, we found the Red One. It stood in a clearing surrounded by skulls. Thousands of them, piled in circles, offerings to the Thing. The scientist was obsessed. He had heard the natives speak of it in terror. A great red sphere that sang with the voice of gods that called men to their death. The headhunters feared it more than anything, yet they brought tribute. Human heads to appease it. We reached a clearing at dawn. The Red One gleamed like polished ruby, perfectly spherical, larger than a man, resting on a pedestal of ancient stone. No seams, no marks, it was not of earth. When the sun struck it, a sound began, a deep, resonant note that vibrated in the bones, growing into a chorus of voices not human. Bassett approached, entranced, the sound called him. He touched the surface. His face changed, ecstasy, then horror. He screamed that it was alive, that it was speaking to him of stars and worlds beyond imagination, of a race that had visited Earth in ages past. The natives fled. I tried to pull them away, but the sound gripped me too. Vision flooded my mind, vast ships crossing the void, beings of light descending, leaving this beacon as a message or a trap. The Red One fed on life, drawing men to it across centuries, harvesting their minds. Bassett fell. His body withered, as if aged 1,000 years in moments. The sound swelled to unbearable pitch. I ran, the chorus pursuing me through the jungle. Promises of knowledge, threats of oblivion. Now, years later, the call still echoes in my dreams. The Red One waits, it sings eternally, patient as the stars. It knows we will come again. All men will come, for it is the voice of something older than humanity, calling us home. Or to our end.